trying. She's one of my little goblin servitors.
1 second. Mukti.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
He's on it.
All right.
So Jamie, it's a lot of us, especially Glitch's wildest dreams to have you on the show today. And
very kind of you, Wormling.
I know. Thank you, sir, for allowing me to speak. I forgot to ask you permission. Actually, I'll remember to do that next time. The blood is fresh in me.
Yes.
I can sense it.
I suppose you can be excused on this occasion.
Thank you, sir.
You'll have to pay more in tribute next time.
I will tribute you every day now, sir. Thank you.
The blood of children is always good.
Yes.
So as
to keep you young.
So I think Mukti, I think you may have shared your screen last time in the Discord, and that would measure it up, but I'm not entirely sure.
There seems to be a bug in the software where I can't make an edit once I'm, or maybe this is just a thing. Pretty silly of me to test new software with this today. With it, like I thought it would go fine. I'm throwing in a little something extra to the giveaway to end this stream here, guys.
No. These mortals don't deserve extra giveaway. This is part of the fun. This is.
I don't understand.
What will Mukti's punishment be? That is the thing. Shall it be savagely flogged in front of everyone on Twitch? Or?
Yeah.
Well, like on the top prize, they get Mukti for a week.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm
not sure flogging on Twitch is legal, but something like that.
Well, it depends. It depends on what category you put it.
It's an M.
Yes. All right, we're losing the Dark Lord for 1 sec here. I'm bringing you back in.
Scotland only scored.
No, I'm missing that. Yeah. By the way, just like for everybody out there, if I all of a sudden rage quit, it's because I'm also watching the football.
I've turned the football off, sir.
I'm watching it. I can't turn it off.
Oh, Scotland have scored.
Just
winding up.
Sharing the Discord messages.
Petty evil.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we figured it out here.
Okay. Well, you're still sharing Discord. Hey, almost. I'm fine. I'm glitched, so yeah, I'm fine.
I don't understand why Discord gets shared. I have it on my other monitor. And yeah, it's just a very, very silly mistake to test new software for the first time here, but I think we should be good to go. I need to throw a border on the Dark Lord.
Boy error.
Yes, very sorry, guys. This is
so glitch. Anyway, while Mukti, what have we got today?
We have the list that Mukti has.
We have the list. We have the list, and I'll go through it with you today.
Okay, perfect.
For the football up, it's dragging me in.
So I did fib to a lot of the Discord today. I said that we'd be doing the marble race at the beginning. That's the beginning of the end, is because I didn't finish the sentence. So be prepared for that towards the end of the stream. Well played there, Mukti. We smashed it there. Let's do it. So go ahead, Mukti, my baby. Let's go. What have we got? What are we doing today?
Yeah. So guys, we of course had a great intro plan for the Dark Lord. This was first off, just want to say thank you so much for being willing to come on here with us. This is an absolute treat. I know a lot of our viewers.
It is your pleasure.
And I can't believe I butchered the intro so badly, but we're squared away now, guys. Great episode planned. So in terms
making
of
a list of your errors, Mukti, there will be punishments later. I suppose crucifixion is too hard. Perhaps a mild flogging.
I'll accept.
Maybe an acid bath.
Whatever punishment is necessary, Dark Lord, I have to.
I suppose because of health and safety rules for the modern age, it'll have to be like vitamin C acid or something.
We're out of the European Union now.
Yeah. Oh yes, so I can put him in hydrochloric acid after all.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, Yeah, but apparently I'm really quiet. Let me turn myself up here. Also, I noticed GV's cam is a little off-centered. I will fix that in 1 second, guys. But yeah, in terms of,
my cam isn't showing much, so
You're good.
yeah, it's working. The sound's working. Just let me glitch out. I mean, come on, it's literally in my name, so it's only fitting I have the glitched box.
Yeah, seriously, it is funny. But I'll be able to fix that in 1 second. But yeah, in terms of updates, announcements, and developments posted in Discord of the past week, a little bit of a quiet week in comparison to what we've seen the past 4 or 5 weeks, where we've just been nonstop bombarded with new info and updates and stuff. But still a good bit of things to discuss. Biggest thing is the 25th of July, VulcanVerse beta has been confirmed. We have some new developments with the Desert of Notice, and very pretty good looking updates going on in that quadrant. Battle Racers has made an announcement about their partnership with Vulcan Forged, and there was definitely at least one other thing we had to quickly mention, but it's going to be a bit of a different episode. We typically have our topics of discussion. We go over each one, have a little bit of a debate or talk some speculation about certain things. But we have the Dark Lord with us today, and of course, what would we be doing without making him the focus of this episode? This is a very special treat, and we're very happy to have him. So we're going to learn quite a bit about the VulcanVerse gamebooks today, all the developments going on there, a little bit of info on the Dark Lord, because I know there was you have your own Wikipedia page that I was doing a dive on.
Yes,
and
not even written by me.
Yeah, very, very cool. And we'll get to know a little bit more about the man behind these gamebooks, and really, along with our CEO, Jamie Thomson, the Jamie Thomson who's very much responsible for a lot of the things that we enjoy every day with this project and VulcanVerse.
He's one of my clones.
Yes, man.
I do have some questions for you later, but we'll catch you off guard with that later on.
No,
in regards to that matter.
Yes, but Tanka and GV, anything you guys have to say to kick off the stream today?
Yeah, following from, I said, quiet week, behind the scenes, very busy, lots to be done. We've had the YGG, the Yield Guild kind of connection happening as well. I think there is another game. I think we're missing another game.
We're missing Snook.
Snook, yes. I think we looked at that last week for sure. And I think we'll see that sort of thing ramp up. And I think even in the AMA with Jamie today, with the discussion with the Uplift gentlemans, I sensed a moment when almost Jamie was offering the marketplace to them, right? So I think this sort of thing is going to happen quite quickly. A lot of games are going to get onboarded into the ecosystem, and we're slowly seeing that. I think it's been 2 or 3 weeks. We've seen that, maybe 4 or 5 of those connections. So just the YGG, all these communities are starting to connect with us. So I think things are going to ramp up with that. Apart from that, we've had the Berserk leaderboards announced. Not without controversy, of course. Lots to talk about. We all love to talk about a bit of controversy, but I think at the end of the day, we've said it many times before. This is about learning and making the game better. The intention of the team and all the mods behind it, really and truly, and all the viewers should know, is the intention is to make this a successful game. And it has to be enjoyable and fair, and that's the intention, and we'll get that done. So congratulations to the players for all the hours you put in, and also the winners on there. And then, of course, go and vote in the Discord for the changes that we will propose as well.
That is very important. The changes that you want to see happen, please go and put your vote in. All right, just don't say, "Oh, well, I would have liked this or I would have liked that." No. You have a chance here to have your voice heard. Get in there, vote for the changes that are proposed in there, and be a part of it. be a
There's
part
some
of
great
the
stuff.
change that you want to see.
Yeah,
there's some great stuff in there. I went for the whole feedback, and there was a lot of great stuff, and I think we'll do better on collecting that, because I went through, I think, a few weeks of data, and I think if I can do that, if some of us can do it every week, then we can keep that flow going and make a great Berserk game. But yeah, that's really it then from me. Apart from that, go England.
Yeah, there were some really good proposed changes in there. So any Berserk players in the chat, go vote for what you would like to see happen, what you would not like to see happen. And sorry for the delays here, guys. I'm trying to fix GV's cam.
Well, there we go.
And yeah, we should be finally...
Nice. I like it.
All right, now I can get
like
the
it.
cam.
You know, the most frustrating thing about this whole experience is the whole reason I switched to this new software is because I was using this software called vMix previously, and I couldn't see, like, when someone followed my channel or, you know, subscribed or whatever, usually a little...
You got affiliate today?
I have affiliate now, but it's so annoying. And so when someone subscribed, first off, I see you guys subscribing. Thank you so much to everyone. Let me run back to Jamie Vulcan bloke with the subscription. Thank him with the subscription. Thank you, man.
Let's go. I'm
Rockstar
actually
Red.
pretty annoyed that I'm not the first one. That has really triggered me, Jamie. So I'm not number one.
Ohaywo,
really...
Chambers Gaming 101. Thank you guys. But yeah, I literally switched to this software so that it would pop up when someone subscribes and follows. And I even did a test stream earlier and it was working. And now all of a sudden it's not popping up on the stream, so I have no idea what I've
This is just like the Berserk first season. You know, we learn and it gets better. It gets better with time.
This is called
man. And Odin, thank you for the sub.
For over 100 viewers already as well. It's amazing. That's amazing. So yeah. Do you I don't know, Muxy, please stop me if I do talk too much. But Jamie, do you frequent the Discord at all?
With me?
Yes, it's a full-time job, but
yes.
do you sometimes peek in?
I've got some, not very often, occasionally. Usually I'm on Discord when I'm doing a role-playing session.
Yeah.
Some of the old mates. Well, my goblin minions. They're lucky I call them friends. But not very often, no, especially not in the last few months, as I've just been so busy writing these game books.
I was going to say, you can't. It's hard to get anything done if you were engrossed in the Discord. I think it is just.
I have enough trouble with computer games putting me off, and Netflix, and torturing, of course. That takes time.
And the collection of
you can
making evil plans. Yeah, I delegate quite a lot, but usually they're always useless. You have to do everything yourself. I don't have enough minions. That's the problem.
Well,
although it should be easier now that health and safety laws have been loosened up.
Yes, none of us can escape the UK now, so you should have more of us. Because...
Yeah. So.
And then this is my plans for my new iron tower in the little village I live in.
Nice.
With a searchlight on top,
OMG,
Sorry?
the Dark Lord himself. Dark Lord is the man. You're getting some love in the chat. So we have a few new viewers in
should
here,
be fear.
or some new viewers or guys who are newer to the project who maybe don't know so much about you, Dark Lord. So just for the viewers, people who haven't been here for some time, tell us a little bit about yourself.
This is my
your backstory and how you
true
got started.
face. Whoa! I fell to your earth some 2,000 years ago. Oh, you probably want to know about my 20th century career, rather than how I first began all those years ago, rising out of the mud. Well, actually, I've been around for quite a while, but I suppose my first book was called The Talisman of Death, published in 1984 at all times. Any of you guys know about Warhammer and Games Workshop? So I started on that on White Dwarf magazine way back when, and the guys I worked for, Ian Livingston and Steve Jackson, they created fighting fantasy game books. So I wrote one of those, and then another one, and then a couple more. And before I knew it, I'd done like 30 game books. It's like 1990. The last series I did was a big open world thing called The Fabled Lands, which was originally based on a radio play that we did for the BBC back in the days when they did stuff for kids. And The Fabled Lands was I wrote with a chap called Dave Morrison. We'd started doing game books. We'd done a Crystal Maze game book and various other things. And The Fabled Lands was a completely new and innovative way of playing a game book. A game book, if you can imagine it as a kind of solo computer role-playing game, but in book form. And this open world thing that we created was really quite new. And it was a bit like the Witcher computer game, if you've ever played that, but in a book. And also our own kind of fantastical world that we created, which is full of sly and wry humour. But in these books, there were 6 of them. You could travel around in the world, and you'd go back, and the world, through a process of tick boxes and code words, sort of logical flow charting in the background that never really affects the players. You just have to tick a box, and the world would recognise what you'd done. So if you'd killed the king, the next time you went into the palace, the king would be dead, and there'd be revolution or war. You choose civil war sides. Or when you destroyed an ogre in his lair, the next time you go back there, the spectre of the ogre is waiting for you. So it made the character feel like they were affecting the world around them. And when you went from one book to another, it's got this paragraph structure. So it would say you take a ship to book 3, turn to a paragraph number in book 3. So all of the books were interconnected. And that set off. But then in the late 90s, pretty much game books died as computer games came along. And I got into computer games, did the switch myself, and started my own games company for a while. And then recently, maybe in the last 5-10 years, there's been a resurgence of game books. Like they're born again. But I keep meeting people who go, I loved your books when I was a kid. And they're like 30 with kids of their own now and jobs. So there's a sort of retro cultish but growing market for game books. And some of them have done things like they recognize the Fabled Lands as inspirational, and other people have done open world game books that are raising hundreds of thousands of dollars on Kickstarter. And there are people all over the world that are getting back into game books. Which is quite a surprise, given that there's Netflix and there's different computer games and there's mobile games and there's so much content, interactive or not, that everyone's competing with. But there seems to be enough people out there to. I think in a way, a game book is like a nice distraction. If you're used to most of your life just sitting on a tube or commuting, whatever, with a mobile phone and whatever apps you're playing on that, the game book is. One of the great things about books is when you play it, it's your vision of what the world is like. If I watch a movie or a computer game, you're given what it looks like. But when it's in book form, it's your imagination that's at play. The writer is writing stuff, but it's you're imagining what they look like. So for some reason, they're sort of doing quite well. And the VulcanVerse is a great way it's a perfect setting for game books. So we've got one game book per quadrant in the VulcanVerse. There will be 5 of them in the end. And they're all very much linked up and cross. So one book's in Hades, and I finished that one. That's called The Houses of the Dead. I can't help it. I always have to add a when you say anything like dead or terror. And the second one that's also been finished, that one's by Dave, is The Hammer of the Sun, and that's set in Notus. And I'm right now about a third of the way through the Wild Woods, which is Arcadia. And Dave is also forging ahead on the Pillars of the Sky, it would be called, which is Boreas. And there's quite a crossover between the game books. Because I started, so my nephew Jamie, started the VulcanVerse, and he got me in to do all of the lore. And he'd already decided on the Greco-Roman thing, which I was very pleased about, because when I was like in the 1970s, a teenager, all the mythology and stuff I read was Greco-Roman, and then along came Lord of the Rings. And then goblins and orcs and dragons have taken over all of the fantastical storytelling pretty much for the last 30 or 40 years. But recently, people are getting back into Greco-Roman. Like there's that computer game called Hades. There's the rather magnificent Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is one of the best Assassin's Creed games I can think of, which is all set in just Greek. That's such a great game. So it's been a lot of fun going back to Greco. There's just fantastic myths and tales of ancient Greece, from comedy philosophers to the king of Hades himself, to all sorts of things in between. And then we'll do book 5, which is Vulcan City. and that will be sitting on top of it all. So the Vulcanites that people know and own will appear in the books. There's quite a lot of crossover with. In Hades, I've got Trapjaw and Blubberjaw. I've got a great bit where you have a big battle with Blubberjaw. But to defeat him, you have to go to Boreas to get some stuff. So there's lots of crossovers like that, where eventually you'll need all of the books to complete all of the tasks. And then there's a lot of crossover with the Berserk cards. So, because I sort of came up with the names for most of those and little one-liners and backstories for them. I'm trying to think what was the thing I was doing today involving the Berserk card. I've forgotten off the top of my head, but they're all appearing in the books too. We'll be using the Berserk artwork in the books as fillers, so we'll have lots of little bits of snippets here and there, so quite a lot will be the Berserk art. So there's a big crossover. And then after that, we may well be doing some graphic novels set in the VulcanVerse. Now, I've done some of you may be aware of my series of Dark Lord children's books, the first of which won the Roald Dahl Funny Prize. I have one here. Hopefully, buy it or die, wormlings. So, it is for 10-year-olds, so I'm sure.
Okay,
I enjoy it.
I have to say that is.
I was just going to say, Tank would love it. I mean, it's 10-year-olds.
I will actually buy it. I will buy it. Yeah, I got to start somewhere.
There's 4 in the series, but we worked on. Well, I worked on comic book versions of that. We've done comics book versions of our radio play, and Dave's done a couple of graphic novels of his own. So, and it will be with. What can I say about it? I can say a famous magazine. That's all I'm allowed to say, isn't it? At this point, it's not quite finished, but yeah, I better leave it there. So there'll be graphic novels too, using the gamebook content, and then in the end, if all that takes off, hopefully we can also get maybe some solo computer games done using the gamebook content and solo RPG sort of things, and then novels, hopefully. So that's where we are. What else can I say about the game?
You've really sparked the imagination in myself when talking about the books, because as you said, getting on a ship from book 2 to book 3, it literally just put me somewhere. Personally, I struggle to read books. I buy books, I don't read them. But certainly for people involved in VulcanVerse, these are going to be easy buys, number one, and just because now you're talking about the Vulcanites, I don't want to know anymore, but we've given them personalities already, right? Or we've spent months adoring some of these companions. And
have you got any favorite ones?
I have a soft spot for Tommy because Tomios. Because
there's a funny story behind that. Because originally, sorry, go on. Yeah.
No, I was going to say I have a soft spot for him just because everyone thinks he's a thief, and I think he's just misunderstood. He's a little guy.
But he's appearing in the Boreas gamebook near the sinkhole. But the original story was that I wrote up his little backstory, and I called him Jimis the Kobold, because Jimis is the artist who does all the Vulcanites. But Jimis changed it to Tomios because it's obviously Thomson. So because he's on in there in Athens and I'm over in England. It becomes Thomson the Kobold. It's supposed to be Jimis the Kobold, the little goblin-y thief.
So he changed it last
night. Yeah. He backstabbed me, as it were.
He must have been the guy that started the rumor that Tomios is a thieving little git. Then that's what.
No, that was me. That was his story I wrote. I do.
Brilliant.
He played the Uno reverse card on you.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Can believe that. Yeah. That's not right. That's incorrect. Oh, 10 years. Yeah.
Too late
but
now.
I got my revenge on
the
them.
blockchain.
Yeah, there's also a guy character. That's what I was going to say. I've been just writing today about how you're in Arcadia and you have a little butler turns up, and he's like a satyr, so he's got goat legs and goat horns, and he you get a suite of rooms in the Summer Palace, which is like the Summer Palace in the Berserk cards. And if you do some tasks, but there's a sort of random chance every time you go back, you find him drunk in the bath, and then you find him he's got drunk and he's in your bed with a dryad, and he's just behaving really badly. And his name is Jas the Helot. But in the Berserk cards, he's actually just a slave, man slave. But I've made him a satyr. But Jas are the initials Jamie Alexander Scott Thomson of my nephew Jamie. So
Wow.
the naughty satyr is my nephew, and then he pretends to be kidnapped. Oh no, I better not reveal that. That's actually, you've got to find out about it. He tries to stitch you up in such a way.
I like the idea of these Easter eggs.
Yeah. And I've just opened up the old Wildwoods thing. So what else is in there? There's some of the Berserker things are. There's Sorceress of Hecate gets up to some stuff, and the Pipes of Pan are in there. The Warrior of Ares is in there. I haven't done the Bushwhack Wolf yet, but he'll be turning up. So there's in Hades and Notice there's a bit with Medusa. And who are the other Vulcanites?
The
Alpha Wolf will be in there, and most of them will be in there in various ways and shapes and forms. What are the other Vulcanites from
Jamie? Inferior
You've
Jamie.
got Sharon.
Inferior Jamie is asking if you want to share my mother's maiden name too.
Oh yeah, sorry, man. I didn't mean to say that. Actually, I wanted to let him read it and find out it was him.
You've also given more like interesting. Like I played Berserk quite a lot. A lot of people play Berserk, and the artwork. I play a lot of board games. I think the artwork in board games is something I'm really interested. Like I focus more on that. I think that's such a beautiful thing. But now I'm going to be looking at like the Berserk cards with more, just like intrigue and because I don't know what you're talking about when you say Pipes of Pan. Like I'm like, what is that a character or is it like now I'm like because all I see is 2/2.
Yeah. In Greek yes, of course. In Greek mythology, the Pan was like the god of nature, and he had these pan. They actually called them pan pipes now, but they're actually, I think they're South American, aren't they? What do they call them? But anyway, it's like 3 or 4. Well, you've seen the picture of them, but he would use that to humans would be, they'd go slightly mad. Or there's this whole thing struggle between civilization and nature in Greece, ancient Greece. And a lot of that is about how bad nature is, a natural thing, because so humans falling back into a natural state is golden and Arcadian, wonderful in one sense, but it's also brutal and bestial. And Pan brings out the beast in men by playing his pipes, but in humans. You also get these maenads, who are female women who get drunk on the wine of Dionysius and go run amok in packs and rip men apart. Sort of remarkable stuff.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Saturday night and Inverness.
Don't you know it?
Yeah. So there's so much rich stuff to be had.
Yeah, I was going to say the depth now that I'm going back to Berserk is going to be it's really really peak.
Do you remember the Storm of Strix card?
Oh yeah.
Yes, it does. Yeah, that is actually one of my favourite cards I own.
Right, okay, because there's a whole bunch of there's a whole encounter with the Strix in Hades. I've added a few things to it, so if you kill some Strix and you have a book of recipes, you can turn them into Strix stew, which you can imagine is not that tasty.
It's so cool that so many of the Berserk cards are linked into the game books as well. It gives such a cool feel to the ecosystem. How there's all these different assets that appear and apply in all these different. So they'll be in the game books, in Berserk, in VulcanVerse.
Well, another amusing one that I might have mentioned to you before was the sepulchral armor. So it's in the books. There's a care on the guy on his, on the river Styx with the, what's his name, the barge man. Anyway, he introduces himself.
Sharon.
Yeah. So Hades is the only one has a weird way of getting into it. All the others you can just cross paths or get a boat, but Hades you can only have to go through one of the two gates. And so someone has stolen some stuff from him, and if you return it, he gives you sepulchral armor, which is useful. But in the Berserk cards, sepulchral is spelt wrong. It's sepulchral or something like that. So it's rather, it's an NFT, so it can never be fixed. But it has a similar effect, obviously in the game book it gives you a bit of armor as it does in the card game. But one day maybe they'll be worth more because it's spelled wrong. There's also Shade Warriors. I just did a bit with Shade Warriors.
Another cool card.
Yeah. Javelins of Thanatos. What else?
The animated version of that one is very nice.
Yeah. Yes, they look great. And we'll sort of use the pictures in a bit more of a generic kind of way. So they won't be... So if you find a Spear of Achilles, there won't be a picture of the Spear of Achilles next to it. But we might put the Spear of Achilles as little flavor things, because they help us to... sort of a bit complicated, but when you're laying out a book of text, it's not like a novel. There are dice rolls and there are numbers and things, and if they cross over onto a page in such a way that the player can't read it or loses an option, we have to put in pictures to balance out the layout of the words and the numbers, so that you don't get like a number 50, paragraph 51 is the last thing on the bottom of the page, so it looks like a page number. So there'll be lots of these sort of flavor pictures, so you might see the Spear of Achilles appearing everywhere. Things like Hippolyta's bow is not in it, but Venom Tail, that was the other Vulcanite I was trying to think of. There's a whole sequence with Venom Tail.
Nice.
And Strangle Vines, got to watch out for them.
So is
and of
it
course
difficult?
We have Harpies and Cyclops.
Is it sounds very tough to do this, or do you flow when creating these books? And I'd assume a lot of it has to link up.
I haven't done a game book for a long time, and in the 90s, it was 20 years ago. I was much younger with it. They are very complicated. There are huge flowcharts, and this is a really messy what I've been doing. And these are all the paragraphs meeting up with the numbers and crossing them off. And I have a whole list of numbers. This is ancient technology, but it's actually much easier than trying to do it anymore. So you've got like 800 numbers, paragraph numbers. And I've got a French map of the Fabled Lands here, but because I don't have a printout of the VulcanVerse map. So I'm having to link all of those flowchart numbers with places in the geographical map and make sure that they all match up. And back then, me and Dave, we could keep a whole books almost in our heads. But now it is much harder because I'm so old and decrepit. So I have to do a lot more kind of Alzheimer bookkeeping, where I have to write notes everywhere that I like to share the screen for the manuscript. But it's full of because you also have all these code words which are recording the things the player has done. So that if you stitch someone up in a city of Arcadia, you could travel to another book, and if you have the code word there, the person you've stitched up is waiting there for you to get their revenge in a dark alley, that kind of thing. So there are code words, and you also have titles, which is another way of so there's a bit where you free Prometheus, who's imprisoned, and he becomes useful later on, and you get a title, the Liberator. It's slightly abstruse, but it's quite complicated, the difference between a title and the code word in the book. The code word is something you can lose. So you can be doing I'm trying to think of it as a flag in a computer game. So it can be taken away from you, but the title can't. So if we have a title, we always know that the player has done a certain thing, or the reader. So, and it is harder, but on the other hand, I've sort of got back into it. So all the old skills of the game books have come back, and we're really motoring and having a lot of, I don't know, I would say fun. I mean, it's hard work, but we feel like we're introducing new things, using our ancient wisdom to try some new stuff. It'd be a lot easier than old game books, which are going to be hard.
It seems like a ton of hard work. Just like I'm a little bit curious about how, because of course you guys you and Dave have a lot of experience writing books, and have been fantasy authors for a very long time. Which, by the way, that's got to be one of the more difficult and I guess hard. I've never spoken with a fantasy author, never met with a legit. I feel like a very difficult thing to get into. And what does it look like when you guys first? Looks like we lost Tanka for a sec here. Hopefully he's back here. But what does it look like, I guess, when you're on page 1 and Jamie just first came to you with the idea of you and Dave writing the VulcanVerse game books? Is there
Well, he wanted. Yeah, it's pretty. Do you mean how does it feel when you're starting such a huge project?
Well, I was gonna. Yeah, essentially, it's kind of do you map things out step by step in terms of?
Okay, yes, it is very daunting sitting in front of a screen, having to think of ideas, and this is why we work. Game books have always, not always, but every game book I've pretty much. But I've always had a partner to write with. The thing is about open world game books like these, it's not you'd have 20 or 30 or 50 different plots happening across a number of books, any one of which could be a full novel. So, but in the game book format, there's snappy, quick little. So you might have someone's kidnapped and you have to go to the city and besiege it and take it. So you might do that in 7 or 8 paragraphs, which could be an entire story of Helen of Troy. So you need a lot of ideas, but not so much actual writing. Having said that, the first Hades book is 100,000 words. Dave has written a notice book, is 1,700 entries, which is the longest game book we've ever done, which is probably 150,000 words. But then a lot of those words are admin things, like you have a list of stuff you can buy in a marketplace, or you have a little set of rules, or you have a repetitive copy and paste choices that you make. But still, they're huge tasks, and you need someone to bounce ideas off, because you can soon get bogged down. So with Dave, we sit down, we come up with some ideas, and then we'll assign tasks to each other. So we had an overall plot line for the game books, and then we go away and do our bits, and we're always in touch all the time. So just a phone call here or a Skype there, and we can discuss an issue like, I need Dave to put a bucket of gypsum into Boreas somewhere, because you have a task which is to refurbish summer palace, and you need some funny little things like that, a bucket of gypsum, or the hide of a mammoth, because you could get some vinegar from Hades, wrap it around the mammoth and toughen it up, and then you wear the mammoth skin, and it allows you to enter the river Phlegathon in Hades, which is a river of fire. So we have and then Dave will tell me the kind of thing that he wants to put in another book you have to get to complete such and such a task. So it's like the Dark Lord books. Dave and I came up with a concept. We worked out a plot line. Then I went away and wrote them. Because
you recommend buying that even at 33 years old? Should I be buying that book?
Dark Lord book? No, it came out in 2012. Yeah.
Sure. Should I buy it though? Is it?
Yeah, of course you should buy it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I see. I thought you meant it 33 years old when I wrote it. Yeah, it actually. Well, I don't know. You probably.
Tanka, right now he is actually brainwashing you into buying it.
Yeah, and there's 4
I'm sold, man. I'm selling all my land by Summer Palace. I'm moving to the River Styx. I'm telling you.
I don't usually do brainwashing. I simply do threatening with death. Buy or die. There's 4 in the series, Tanka. Well. You could, you can buy all of them, but I don't care if you read them.
Just buy them.
Yeah. Alternatively,
and you read it. You actually read it on Audible as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, go and buy those books narrated by.
For your children, I know there are a lot of people in this chat, myself actually included, and I'm pretty sure my wife has them on shopping list in some place for my kids. But yeah,
how old are your kids?
7, 10, and 12.
Oh yeah, perfect. Well, 7's a bit young for them, but 10, 12.
Oh no, she is.
Unless she's a really good reader.
She loves this kind of stuff. Absolutely, right. She's my daughter.
Actually, the first 2. I think it's the first 2. Or the first one is in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
There's a Catalan one and a Spanish one, but
Oh,
they didn't do
excellent.
very well in Spain, so they only did the first two, maybe.
Well,
And
I'll
like in
confuse her.
Italy, there.
I'll get her two Spanish and two in English.
Yeah, cool.
That is
I
awesome.
must have a Spanish one around actually somewhere. I've got plenty of German ones. They've done very well in German. I've got some Czech ones. Can't see Turkish, but no. Oh no, wait, is that a Spanish one? Hold on, I've just taken my ear things out so I can't hear you. No, it's another Czech one. What was done with them? Anyway,
I have a
they're all
question
called...
here from the inferior Jamie.
Oh yes.
Um,
What does that wormling want?
it says, how did you break your nose?
Oh, I was fighting. I got attacked by 17 ninjas. I killed all of them.
Right.
One of them, lucky hit in, broke my nose. Or an alternative story is I was drunk one night, fell over and broke. Or the other story is a 9-year-old nephew of mine. When he was 9, we were play fighting with pillows, and I moved forward a bit just as he swung his fist round, and his little 9-year-old fist hit me just here, moved my nose across the side of my face, and it was utter agony and blood everywhere. Jamie took me out when he was 9.
Incredible.
Swine.
Bloody ninjas.
Yes.
Yeah, if only it was ninjas. Yeah.
He subjugated you from a young age, and look where we are now.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was lucky though, where I lived in South London. The local hospital had one of the best nose surgeons in the country, so he reset it perfectly. So Jamie,
I was gonna say, I didn't notice anything.
yeah, Tanka. By the way, word of warning: when you get to Greece, no pillow fights with Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
I know you were
He might
looking
have
forward
beat
to
you
it.
anyway.
Yeah. Turns up to wherever Tanka's staying. and
Just
beats him up
regular
with stories.
fist fights. I got it.
Yeah.
Regular fist fights. It's fine.
Yeah, remove the pillows.
You'll need one of these, Tanker.
Oh crap! You know, I was looking forward to this trip. You know, this journey, but as we climb closer to the departure,
One of these.
it's getting a bit. It's
a
getting
bit murdery.
Yeah.
immigration. What is this about in your DMs about the blood of children? They say to me at customs.
Perhaps one of these will protect you. This is actually an ancient Persian ceremonial axe.
Oh.
Well, it's a remake. It's a replica, tourist replica, but it is based on a real ancient Persian ceremonial.
Very useful.
Achaemenid axe. Yes,
cheese
and for cutting cake.
Yeah.
Or from a police evidence locker, it all looks like.
Yes, definitely. Well, this one probably is. This is, I think, Indonesian. It's a really nasty little sharp thing. I think probably from Borneo, because my brothers were born in Borneo because my dad worked in oil.
I take it when you're negotiating with publishers, you do it in your office on your terms, yeah?
If only I'd be very rich now. But no, sadly, they make me go into their offices, big offices in town, and for some reason they take the weapons off me at the door. It's very annoying.
You have a whole armory in
They
there.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody in the chat is asking for me to ask you if you have a ban hammer.
A ban hammer?
Yes.
I'm not sure I know what that is.
Well, it's the hammer. It's the hammer us moderators use to ban.
Oh, I see. For being banned, yeah.
Yes.
No, I don't. Obviously, I'd have to be banned myself all the time.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a hammer of banning. 6. I thought it sounded like an ancient medieval Scottish, perhaps, weapon, a ban hammer.
It could be. It could be.
Yeah.
Yes.
When Dark Lord moderator status.
Yeah.
That was a question I was going to ask. When are we going to see, or are we going to see, a Dark Lord NPC in the game? So like because that would
doesn't
just
fit
be
with the Greek stuff. Really.
Well, you could appear as a quest giver for
as myself. And then I could do the voice. Go forth, worm.
You are
Return
doing some of the
with
voices
every-
already. Yes, I feel like I remember in a previous interview it got brought up that you're doing
I
some
was
of the
going to do
voices.
something, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
I did agree to that, I think.
yeah, I
As
mean,
long as they
Because,
say things like, die,
that is true.
wormling,
Okay,
die.
I had forgotten about that, Mukti. But yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
it might have been the
But no, that I mean,
the gamers interview.
it could well be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it would just be super cool to have, as a non-playable character in the game, a lone wanderer that just wanders around the quadrants, handing out quests to
Insulting
the
people from a distance.
yeah. I mean,
You wormling scum over here. You mutant dog. I've got a job for you.
that would be brilliant.
Go out and buy all the Dark Lord books. Show me a receipt, or you die.
Or your account will be banned within 24 hours.
Your land will be sold from under your very feet, and ploughed with salt, like the Assyrians used to do to those who rebelled against them. That you can never grow anything.
All lovely stuff. I mean, obviously, the Arcadians will not be visiting very frequently. They'll be far too scared.
I've been having quite a lot of fun with the Arcadians at the moment. We've just been rebuilding the wineries of the gods.
Oh yeah,
sounds about right.
Yeah, rebuild it, obviously.
Yeah, well, at the moment it starts off. Well, I suppose I could mention the basic plot line, which is that Vulcan is created. Well, it's the same premise of the VulcanVerse in a way. So all the Olympian gods are sleeping, kind of thing. So all the quadrants are kind of in decay and falling to bits. So the summer palace is dusty and dirt laden, and the rivers are all dried up. But there are basically three factions: the Olympian gods, who are mostly sleeping, except for Vulcan himself, who's trying to reawaken his brothers and sisters, and have a new Olympia, a new Olympus in the modern world, because he's the techno Greek god. So it's a virtual. And then there are the Titans, who the Olympians defeated in the Titanomachy, which is the great war that they had. So the Titans are Kronos and the other, I've forgotten the names of them, but they all appear as NFTs and all that in the gods. And then there's a third faction, which are the humans. So in Greek myth, there was Daedalus, who was like a cunning inventor, and he was the father of Icarus. Some of you may know the tale of Icarus, who flies too close to the sun. So at the end, you have to decide basically which faction you will support. So you can either have kind of like a humanist mankind thing, where you get rid of most of the gods, or you can join the Olympians, and they will invite you up to Olympus to be like a demigod, like Hercules. Or you can join the Titans, and we'll see how that all works out. So at the moment, when you start the books, most of the areas you go to are in disrepair and fall into bits, and you have to do various quests and tasks to get them up and running again. Growing honey and growing wine and drinking it. Lots of drunken satyrs.
I have to interrupt this very briefly.
The mention of Cronus.
The mention of Cronus, and it's over to you, my friend.
Yes, Tanka, take it.
You have the reins.
Tanker is Cronus. Yes, that's correct,
Yes.
Indy. I am.
He obviously
Cronus.
is.
He's of a half Egyptian origin. The superior Jamie Cronus buffs in game are yet to be delivered to the community, and I think it's one of the big wins of the community. So I'm about to give the community one of the buffs that Cronus will have in game. Now people are queuing up in my DMs asking today, and I, on my high horse floating above you all, will deliver it. So, what is it, Mukti, do you think? Is there a couple of clues?
You wouldn't tell me. I tried it. I wanted it.
No, there's a couple of
cues.
Clues, sorry. There's a couple of cues in there, if you know what I mean.
Sitting on my
How
high
else can I put it,
horse.
Glitch? You got any more
Does
puns?
Cronus come with a rideable mount?
Mukti, come on, he's been queuing up the clues in the chat.
Oh, in the
But
chat.
so
Yeah.
have I in the chat? No,
No,
so
you have,
Cronus, you have the ability to float and as height. So in the alpha version, we have a builder's perk basically to get out of sticky situations and get stuck in game, right? And we press Q and we portal up, 20, 30 feet or whatever, or whatever height, just to get out of a situation, if we get stuck under stairs or something in the game. It was more of a developer perk. However, Cronus will have that ability in game, and it won't be instant portal. We hear it will be a slow levitation for a certain amount of time. So that is specifically for Cronus. There's your Cronus buff. We don't want to hear any more about it for at least 2.5 weeks. Thank you very much.
And also, that same buff applies to Zeus.
Damn! Okay, I didn't know that.
Says not as limitless as the Q now, but I'm sure it'll, because the Q now flies you up like way high up into the air.
Oh yeah, it does go a bit too high.
That was my first immediate response. Is hope it's not instant because it's very unrealistic using that word loosely, right? But
because human levitation is very very realistic. I mean, I do it all the time.
That was a perfect intro for that buff. Thank you, Jamie.
Absolutely.
And congratulations to the Cronus and Zeus owners.
Oh yes,
good old Zeus.
That's very cool.
Jamie.
Yes, Wormling.
Death Dealer.
Oh yes. So there's this Frazetta stuff going on, and so there are going to be a few Frazetta. You may not know, is an iconic fantasy artist, dead now sadly, but his estate goes on. So the Death Dealer is a big iconic picture, and in the game books, they're going to appear as Vulcanites in the VulcanVerse. I think 4 of them, 1 for each quadrant, and obviously the Hades one is of course the Death Dealer, and I managed to get that to work in the game book by the Titans. There's a Titan called Nyx, and that means night, and she is the mother of a whole bunch of hideous, evil creatures of Greek mythology. But 2 of them are Thanatos, he who is death, and Hypnos, he who the god of sleep and dreams. And he's kind of made all of the other Olympian gods and go to sleep. But in the game books, we're trying to make them a lot more forgiving. So old school game books, you die left, right, and centre all the time, like early computer games. You have to start all over again. But we're going more Xbox now, so that you get automatic revivifications by the gods. They bring you back to life. But you will always get a scar. If you die, you have scars. And if you get too many scars, then Thanatos will be annoyed that you've escaped his grasp, and he'll send his champion, the Death Dealer, to hunt you down. And he'll be the Frazetta one in Hades. And I think Dave will be putting the Silver Warrior, Boreas, so he's a guy on a chariot with polar bears.
That's one that, again, that one's going to be very interesting how he comes into play. I mean, it cannot be easy integrating these external characters and giving them a sort of
well, there's always a way of making them fit in. It just so happens that the Death Dealer could easily be, looks like and sounds like
a Hades character.
Yeah. So that was quite easy. There's another one that they're doing called the Egyptian Queen, and that's actually quite hard to fit into Notice. I don't think we'll manage to do that. And the other one is a tricky one to try and get one into Arcadia, so I don't think we'll manage that. Maybe there might be a way. But Frazetta's work, all of his pieces aren't really... There'll be a Vulcanite in Arcadia, but I can't work out how to put that one in the book. So I'm with an idea.
It's good that you're not forcing it for the sake of it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Exactly,
I mean, if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit.
It
has to have like a more natural flow to it, and obviously, there are a couple that do and a couple that don't.
Yeah, like the Silver Warrior, that can work because he can be like the son of the North Wind. Boreas is the North Wind who lives in the Fortress of Winds. So his son could easily be the Silver Warrior travels around in a chariot being pulled by polar bears. Perfectly normal.
As you do. I mean,
Yeah, except of course in ancient Greece there was no snow to speak of, but
or polar bears.
That's not true. Yeah, no polar bears definitely, but there is snow on the mountaintops. So we have various
So
mountain nymphs.
they could just be albino grizzlies.
Yeah, make them albino grizzlies. Good one.
There you go.
You have proven yourself useful, Glitch. I will allow you to live.
I appreciate it. I think my
Mukti
wife
is
may
to
as
be
well.
flogged, of course.
Of course.
Oh, you say that, but she's already DM'd me to have you executed
It was to be expected.
for the insurance money.
Yeah. Muxie,
Yes.
you're quiet, my man.
Mugti, I want to just say, don't worry about what happened earlier. Okay, you'll be punished later. But honestly,
the flogging won't be too harsh. Don't worry.
Thank you, guys. Spare me a little
We won't
bit.
flog you to the bone.
No, yeah, I've been quiet. It's this is the Dark Lords episode, though. I mean,
it's been fascinating.
It's been great.
No,
Yeah, it has been a pleasure to hear, how these stories come to life from nothing, and the process of doing it all. And I think everybody is quite taken aback by the speed of how all of these different pieces, because the game books are a core aspect of it. The lore is, it is key to VulcanVerse, and it's all just pieced together. Like at one point, they're all like a million pieces spread around, and now all of a sudden they're all rapidly coming together in the shape of the game books, in the shape of the game itself going live. Berserk, as well, having
the last
all
6 months have been amazing.
I mean, hats off to everybody that's been working their human asses off for this, because it has been very, very impressive. I mean, those books are not small books either.
No.
So yeah.
Hopefully we'll have the first 2 out in September-ish.
The books give
there we go. You just answered that.
Yeah.
The books give this ecosystem such a depth, and like just having the lore and storyline, it really separates this from a lot else that's out there.
Yeah, from writing a game book perspective, having all of the lore and the maps in place first makes it so much easier.
Yeah,
we're not.
I would think so. Yeah,
it's the sort of thing you'd have to do anyway for game books, but doing it for something else is perfect platform upon which to build. And then we've got some fantastic covers lined up, and also the game books, we're working with the Italian, so the game books will be Italian, German, and some other country. Those French blokes, because they've got a very all of those places have got big fantasy markets that are generally larger than the British one, in fact. So hopefully, I'm pretty certain that the September, October-ish, the Italian ones will come out. But so hopefully we'll have the first 2 books in 4 different languages this year.
You've got me really excited really excited about it. And I was excited about it already, but now I'm like, you put me in that imagination place. That place that I think, as a gamer, we play we play on the computer with games. It's kind of takes the imagination out of it, right? You're immersed into a world, and you felt that nostalgia of going back to trying to do it ourselves.
But it's not only that, Tanka. It's the fact that the game books make the gaming experience almost more complete, because they do go sort of hand in hand.
Absolutely. So and the ownership.
You have this really immersive experience when either reading the books or playing the game, or doing it kind of together. And I have never seen it done before, which is why we're really excited. Like this is like happening in this sense, because it's.
So you can spend 8 hours playing the computer game, have your dinner, and then go to bed at night reading the game books. And you'll just be completely living in the VulcanVerse world.
Yeah,
That sounds ideal.
I don't think there's anything out there, to this magnitude, at least, when it's all said and done, what this will look like in terms of all the lore and game books, then there being a virtual metaverse where you can go in and interact with the same characters you're interacting with in the game books. And then also have a CCG. There's a CCG, an MMO, an auto battler. It's absolute heaven for a gamer. And the fact it's tied into these Greco-Roman stories that have been around for such a long time, getting this new modern twist put on it. And what's that been like for you, Dark Lord, in terms of getting to work with some
well, it's been a lot of
it's
like
been
great because because it's not quite like I remember there was an early Greek myth series way back when. This is probably the 80s, Vulcan Chronicles, I think. I can't remember. But anyway, so that's very much in keeping with the Greek myths, so that they stay kind of canonical. But we've taken the Greek myths and sort of turned them on their head and twisted them around a bit. And so we take our inspiration from that and then make them a little more, I'm hoping, wryly amusing in a sick kind of way. Sometimes it's a little sick, but it's hopefully going to be a lot of fun. So it's been great. So we've also been doing lots of reading of Greek myths. And some of them do follow quite closely, but then they're transported and put into the VulcanVerse so that you as a hero. Heroes in the Greek myths don't go into Hades very often. Maybe one or two of them do, and Orpheus, for instance, tries to get his wife out, but he fails. And I think Hercules probably goes to, but he does everything. So this is, you get to wander all around Hades and do a whole bunch of stuff. And you just wander around a kind of virtual, modern version, not that modern, of Greek mythology. And we've changed the currency in the game books to per or pyre.
Okay, so
Fire.
I have a few questions here. And Mutzi, Glitch, stop me if I'm ruining the flow. I don't know if this was planned for play, but there's a few questions from some of these insignificant
wormling mutants.
Wormlings. Thank you. Yes. No, that was
Tanka, we could. Tanka, we could.
So one of the go ahead.
No,
I'll say
we could finish up the Jamie section with this AMA before we get onto the last part of it. If we have been going on for
because I don't have a schedule.
Slightly over the hour that we anticipated with Jamie. It is just time flies when you're having fun.
Yes.
Even if it is locked in a dungeon.
You're not supposed to be having fun. You're supposed to be creaking in horror.
No, I can't move. I'm paralyzed, legs down right now. I don't know.
What happened with the football, by the way?
0-0, boring.
No, we did not lose.
Well, that's okay. Yeah. The second half, England came back strongly. I saw at the beginning, but it's good as a draw.
They're all rushing home to check the show out. I think they were just like, let's get on with it. Let's call it a draw. Let's watch the podcast.
Keep Scotland's hopes alive, even though it would be nice to beat the English. I'm a Scotland supporter, by the way, if anyone's confused, even though I have a preposterously English accent.
Has anyone noticed GV and Tanka's soccer jerseys on? Or football jerseys?
Football jerseys
there. You savage.
That's my American self is saying soccer.
It is played with a foot. It is not played with your hands. American football is not played with feet.
GV, you can blame the American education system on that one.
I will. I demand compensation, Jamie. Where is other Jamie? Where's inferior Jamie?
Story of how American football took that name. Doesn't make sense.
Well, I'm sure we can find somebody to come on the show for that one.
It should be like American rugby, shouldn't it?
Yeah, but
that's its roots.
Armored rugby.
Armored rugby. I do like watching American football.
But yeah, let's get the AMA.
What did you say, Glitch?
Yeah.
Shall I run with some questions quickly, just off the bat? A couple of easy ones, nothing too deep. Yeah. You know me, I'm not that dense. Pretty simple, me.
Don't you mean deep, Rob?
Yeah, no, I'd see. This proves my point, really, doesn't it? So you did mention the currency in game. How do you pronounce PYR?
Yes. Well, I think I would go with the Greek as peer. But Pyre sounds more fiery. But I've been calling it Pier.
That's
Doesn't trip off the tongue well though when you're in English.
It is a big topic of debate because it's going to get set in stone soon, I'm sure, or not. Maybe it's forever debated, but how we pronounce
I guess
it
can be a personal thing as long as the thing is to own some rather than care how it's pronounced, I suppose.
It does.
And if you have,
this is civil war territory within the community. I mean,
okay.
This is like
it seems to be a regional thing.
It really is, as in the people that are saying Pier are in the wrong region.
Where are they?
No.
Well, they're just in whatever region. I don't care. They're in the wrong region.
I see. Right. Yes.
Yeah, the correct
You're
region.
assigning them to hell.
Yeah. Well, no, because I'm in hell. I don't want them with me. I want that they can be in Arcadia and frolicking around the flowery meadows with Tanka. Yeah.
They will. Don't worry about that.
I like Pier because of the original Greek. Has to be respected.
Well, it is a good point. But Pyre, it sounds so fiery. It's got power to it.
Yes, and also I should like pyre because it sounds like funeral pyre, the burning of the bodies to get rid of the evidence and all that kind of thing. But still, I always imagine it's Pier because Jamie was talking about it when he was first doing it, and we were trying to come up with a bunch of names. I gave him a bunch of names, and he didn't go with any of mine. But he went with Greek.
Maybe it can live in two places.
It was a very fun naming process, by the way. I remember the process of naming Pyre.
We're lucky to have it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's a great name.
Also, it happened. I remember the last voting amongst the internal group of the name for the token. I think it was going on from about 6:30 in the morning one morning, as we really needed to get this name out there. And it settled on Pyre, and I cannot remember which one of the mods came up with it. But
it's just Greek for fire, isn't it?
Yes. So it was a word. Sir Drinks. Yes, it was Sir Drinks, which is obviously his real name, Sir Drinks. He's in the chat here saying it was me.
It was me. Sir
Drinks. What were some of the other names up for consideration? Do you remember any?
Oh, you don't want to know. That's what I'm saying. We're very lucky to have this because some of them were not good.
There were a few. You had Obol, like the Obol, as in the Greek.
Well, that's what the original currency was in the game books until we changed it to Pier.
We didn't it was a great name for me because it is what it is. It is a currency, and it represents that. But it didn't have the flow that we needed for a catchy name with a logo that could go well with it, and the Pyre and the logo that they came up with the two V's as a flame was just it was just spot on. It really was. Yeah.
And there's also, of course, the drachma, because that was an ancient Greek.
That was another one that was up there. Yeah.
Currency, but apparently it's one of the longest running currencies ever. Before they got to the euro, the Greeks had the drachma. They still had it 3,000 years later.
And now they're all bankrupt.
Pretty cool.
Drachma?
Yeah, well, and the euro.
DRACHMA, I believe.
DHMA,
yeah.
Obol was taken, Jamie was saying, and Hades and Drak.
By the way, Odin has only just realized that the Pyre logo is two V's.
I didn't realize that yesterday. Someone pointed it out to me yesterday. I can believe it. It's amazing.
That makes my day.
VulcanVerse PYR. It is perfect. Like such a perfect logo, such a perfect name for the.
It's a good logo.
Yeah.
I really like the four quadrant banners as well. They're neatly, nicely designed. We'll be putting those on the spines of the game book. So Arcadia will have the little centaur banner on it, and Hades will have the Cerberus. Well, the Cerberus doesn't really appear in it much.
Have you
Tanka,
seen? Oh, sorry, GB.
No, Mukti, you go ahead, man.
I was just gonna ask the Dark Lord if he's seen the Vulcan playing cards yet, with the all the quadrant.
No, I haven't seen any Vulcan playing cards.
They look great. Look great. There was a.
I didn't know there was going to be.
Vulcan Poker is releasing very soon, and there was a trailer posted last week, And yeah,
so they're just like normal playing cards.
Yep, but so for example, the Jack of Hades is Wolf Shadow,
cool.
and Queen is Medusa,
Right,
and each quadrant has like the Vulcanites, and they look awesome. And all the quadrant logos are on there as well.
Are they going to be NFTs?
I don't think so. I think they'll just be used for various card games in VulcanVerse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tanka, have you been noting down the questions that people are asking in the chat?
Well, I asked them to DM me, so if they haven't DM me, then they can't follow simple instructions. These silly.
We can scroll up and find some people. Were
I can be as mean. I love that I can just. I've got permission to be mean today. This is great.
You have to be more insulting than just a bit silly. You have to be like.
Am I being insulting?
No, not insulting enough.
Oh, good. Good.
Goblin minions.
Future permission.
No, because
I've got a few questions. I'll run through if you want.
I did notice one question, and I'll let Tanka handle, and Mukti as well as your.
No, go for it. Ask the question. Ask away.
It says, ask Jamie if he plans on a signed, numbered, limited NFT edition. Both regular and graphic novels. Will he be digitizing?
Well, yes, we did talk about it because I can't quite get my head around how you can turn, say, a game book into an NFT, but apparently you can. Yeah. So maybe we'll do that, and I don't know. Would we do the whole graphic novel as an NFT?
Well, it could be.
You could have limited editions, different covers or something, like 500 editions of a certain limited edition cover.
Yeah.
Only get it if you have the associated NFT.
We're talking to an artist at the moment about he's done some mock-ups. Actually, I must talk to him about the game book covers, which will be a great panoramic vista. So there'll be 5, so that the covers will be front and back of the book. So you fold it out, you'll get a big panoramic vista of Hades and of Arcadia, and then you can line them all up against each other and have a wonderful view. So there's no reason why we couldn't do the covers as NFTs as well.
If there was an ebook version of the books, a digital file can be there's a few places where a few examples that I've seen where buying, for example, the NFT cover of a book gets you access to download the ebook file separately. So you buy the NFT that is the cover, and you get with it the ebook as a separate as an unlockable essentially.
Yes.
But this is a subject that a few people have mentioned.
It's entirely doable. I haven't really thought about it that much, but that's it can all be done. We could maybe write some special little sequences or sections for the NFT in some way.
Collectibles.
NFT collectibles. As for the graphic novels, it's still very early days, so I can't say too much. But we haven't got artists lined up yet and all that kind of thing, so we'll have to see how that turns out. But there'll be plenty of NFTs from that, won't there? Possible.
I could imagine so. Yeah. Mukti, are you seeing what Tanka's dropped into the chat?
Yep. Yeah, I just see it here. We have a selection of questions.
Some of them may be too deep, but I must say, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. We have a possible bomb. But in regards to those books, Jamie, please confirm if I can just tell them what you just said.
Wait, what?
Was it in the stream chat or did?
Oh, okay. No. It's okay. It's not that. Okay. Well, basically, he said it's done with the NFT RFID tags attached to the book. So the book itself won't be an NFT, but
it can unlock NFT content.
I see.
There is a. I'm just gonna. I mean, he's not typing anymore. He's had fair warning. But like 2 of 10 edition, for example. Wait, no, that can't be right. That's surely impossible to sort out. So each book has a different. Anyway, we'll diverge that. That's for next week.
What? Because we'll be doing game color. We're probably going to do ordinary game books and then do full color collector's editions as well.
Ooh.
It says
So
it's
that,
embedded in the cover. So yeah.
what the RFID is, I don't. It's starting to get too techno for me.
It's just
Yes.
it's black magic, black magic. Books and
Yes.
games,
Yes.
black
It's like the
magic.
internet.
I
of
normally
things.
I have
He
like
thinks and then
goblin
it's done.
wizards to do that sort of thing for me,
Yes, yes.
or ancient lich lords. Some questions from the chat. Someone's asked Elysium and Tartar sauce in the books. I presume they mean Tartarus. And actually, in
Yes.
Hades, Elysium and Tartarus are in there. Yeah, there's a whole section of Elysium that I put in Hades, where the ghost of Agamemnon, the king of the Mycenaeans at Troy, works with some other people. I won't say too much, and he tries to do a coup and take over Elysium. And you have to, well, you can join him or you can fight him to free Elysium. And Tartarus is very much is the abode of Thanatos, he who is death. No, sorry, I should get that right. He whose touch is death. And Hypnos and Nyx, they all hang out in Tartarus. And if you go down there unprepared, you will not return the same ever again. So you have to plan your descent into Tartarus carefully. And then there's another question is, are there any other media Jamie wants to explore? Oh, yes, there is actually. My brother and I, Jamie's other uncle, but not his father. His father, my other brother, and I created Jamie in the lab as a clone. But that's another story.
I know this.
But yeah, we were going to do. My brother and I, we did a radio play for the BBC way back in the 90s. So we thought we'd do kind of radio play like VulcanVerse podcasts, so that we'd get a studio and get some actors in and do the voices and take some of the gamebook content and dramatize them. So you'll get a 10-minute podcast sort of radio play kind of thing with voices and sound effects. And it could be done rather well, set in the VulcanVerse. Perhaps I can do some of the voices. So that's another bit of media that we're thinking of, because we're really trying to put the VulcanVerse into everything that you can think of. And then hopefully one day there'll be a TV and a film.
I think the question would be when VulcanVerse serials.
What, like to eat for breakfast?
Of course.
That'd be great. And have little plastic Vulcanites in, like in the old days.
Oh,
except
yes.
kids would choke on them.
Well, yeah. Nowadays,
the back of the box would have some, lore on it.
Missing trapjaw legs. That's on the milk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can have a great big trapjaw chest mouth on the back of the. Yeah. And it would be cardboard, and it would come to life every now and then, Halloween, and eat the poor child's head.
And we'd face lawsuits from parents with scared children.
Well, if we just get one lawsuit, it won't cost us too much, and it'll be fantastic publicity.
Yeah,
good point.
VulcanVerse cereal packet ate my child.
Serial killers.
Yeah, the headlines everywhere. Yeah. Oh, serial killer. Yeah.
This next question gives. So I have a question about this next question. Someone asks for you, Dark Lord, do you try to structure your stories around Joseph Campbell's hero journey?
Yes.
And, I'm not familiar with what that is.
He's like a professor of sort of mythology sort of thing. And for instance, George Lucas has said that Luke Skywalker in the original ones follows the hero's path. And it usually involves a young man discovering his destiny, like Luke Skywalker on his farm, is to be a hero in some way, and then he doesn't want to do it and refuses it, and then he has to do it. And a lot of mythological tales follow a very similar structure. And there's another guy called V.J. Prop, I think he was called. I think he was Czech, Eastern European anyway, but he studied a whole bunch of fairy tales, and he was able to create these they're like equations. So he would assign the letter VW, and that might mean violent witch. And so he would find repeating themes in fairy tales from all over the world, and he could actually mesh them together. And we looked at that once to see if we could get a storytelling AI. But the Joseph Campbell's, no, not following it strictly, because as it's an open world game book, actually it's not quite true. There is a single player, as it were, narrative plot, but most game books of the Fabled Lands kind didn't have a main plot so much. You just go in and adventure everywhere. So it doesn't really have a chronological sequence that you could easily fit into the hero's journey. Instead, you create your own hero's journey by wandering around the world in any way or shape or form that you like. So it is constricted because we have to provide choices. You can't just do anything you like. And those choices are control what the reader player can do. So yeah, you couldn't. Yeah, a little bit, but not really. No. Sometimes the hero's journey structure can appear in a single sequence, but they're never really long enough to properly explore it. So I suppose we don't structure them around the hero's journey in that sense, although we are aware of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, hope that answers the question.
Oh yeah, I would say so for sure. Yeah, very. So that's just kind of like the. So Joseph Campbell, I guess, was a fantasy author as well, of some kind, and
I'm not sure if he was. He was more like an anthropologist.
Oh, okay. But he kind of coined the hero's journey.
Yeah, he studied the mythological tales of heroes across different cultures.
Okay.
And the ancient Trojan Greek has a big hero part of the way that they told their stories and looked at the world, which are slightly different for different cultures. And Japanese were quite hero-driven too.
I have a friend that is very, knowledgeable about mythology and Greeks especially, and actually, I'm looking at my Audible now. It's a book that he recommended. It was Joseph Campbell, The Hero with 1,000 Faces. Is that something you know about? I mean, it's a very long book, but it does.
Yeah.
He's recommended to.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I can't remember whether I read it or not. We have, yes, yeah. So it's heroes from.
Very interesting.
So the Greeks are very rich. They have Hercules and Achilles and Jason, and so that it's very, very, very hero-driven. The Greek and Roman myths. I'm trying to. But the Norse ones, not quite so much. They're much more about the Norse gods, surprisingly. There are no great individual. I mean, when you think of the Norse myths, you think of Thor and Odin. You don't think of famous Vikings particularly. Whereas Greek mythology, there's all these. There isn't really a Norse Hercules, for instance. Probably is, but it's not quite so prevalent.
Joseph Campbell, I mean, he's got some quotes there that, I mean, obviously he's a very very good writer, and a lot of his works, they are very widespread and widely used and taught with. But I mean, there's this one quote here, which is I've just literally just popped it up here, and it just kind of struck me. It's like, life has no meaning. Each of us has meaning, and we bring it to life. It is a waste to be asking the question when you are the answer. That is deep.
Very well. Yes.
That is deep.
That is.
I mean, I know that Tanka loves. You're a Gary V fan, but I think
I like that one. I really like that quote.
This is really along those lines. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just that was me digressing. It just popped up as I was looking into some of his some of his writings.
Remind me that later.
I will indeed. Yeah, I'll send you that. But yeah, so there's a question here: is Jamie going to be involved in the VulcanVerse board game in any way?
Well, I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, board game obviously makes sense. I don't know. It depends who's going to do board game. In fact, it could be very cool.
Jamie, where is other Jamie? Where is Jamie? I'm shouting out to inferior Jamie in the chat.
It's got to be a board game.
The
board could be the whole map.
A board game has been confirmed, I believe, right? Or was that
the board game is being developed by. Was it Mythical Game? I want to say.
Yes, right. Yes,
I'm thinking.
So no, I'm not directly involved.
Well, you've done the characters for it, essentially.
Yeah. No doubt, plenty of my text will appear.
Tanka, read your DM now.
Yeah, I've read the DM.
All right. And you got a really
wait.
You've got a good poker
What do you
face.
What do you mean about a board
Uh,
game? Is this
I
or
don't know.
something else?
Jamie has just said, tell Tanka to read his DM.
Oh yeah, I've already read it. I said done to Jamie. I thought he'd understand that being AI. So it was kind of I was kind of gonna we should probably end on the next bomb drop that Jamie's DM me. So let me just read through his DM. Is it past your bedtime, Superior Jamie? He asks. That's
Not yet.
naughty, Jamie. Naughty, naughty.
Obviously,
lady,
midnight
Jamie.
is yeah.
But if you see in just shortly, Dark Lords, sir.
Yes, Wormling.
Feel free to announce that if you wish. But like for the marble race today, we don't always do first place either. By the way, so I would suggest later on if you want to decide it's last place or first to die, fine by me. But in this occasion, I think that is the top
good
one. Yeah.
Oh, a signed copy of the Dark Lord book.
Yes. Well, I think I'm not entirely sure what Jamie's just
Well, it would have to be.
Period. Jamie says, author Jamie must offer a signed copy of the book as today's main giveaway.
Yes. Well, the Dark Lord book, I was talking about the first game book, because the first game book won't be out for a while. But I could do a Dark Lord book. I always sign them to people with their Dark Lord name. So, for instance,
or he says, "Have your nose broken again?" I'm not going to say that.
Yeah. I'll take the nose.
So what is it?
Yes, I always sign it as the Dark Lord, so it'll say something like, "Read this book or die," or any criticism of this book will be met with instant death. And if it was, to what's your real name? I don't want to say Tanker, but Ahmed.
Ahmed.
So
say Ahmed.
Ahmed.
If they don't
so
know.
it would be to Ahmed the assassin or the
I'm not giving up this prize. There is
an evil name.
No way.
Yeah.
Jason would be Jason the Jaguar. And what's Mukti's real name?
Adam.
Oh, yes, Adam. So that's another A. So that would be arsonist, abomination, abominator.
I was about to say it's kind of a tough one, but
yeah. Tanker's quite good because it would be Tanker the Tyrant or the Terrible.
Well, he's definitely terrible. I mean, we tell him that frequently.
Or the Terror. So yeah, signed copy of Dark Lord. Okay, yeah. I'll have to post it somewhere.
Jamie says more dog.
I'll tell you what. If I win it, I'll get on the bus, mate. I think you're only down the road. And this is one prize I'm not giving away to the audience. I'll tell you, if I win this one, that's mine.
Have you got kids, Tanker?
I do not know. Not that I know of, anyway.
He is a child.
Yeah.
He's still at that age.
That trouble. Yeah. I should send one out to Glitch in Malaga. Oh no, you see if you can get a Spanish one.
I will indeed.
And if you want to post it to me, I can sign it and post it back.
Amazing.
That sounds fantastic. That really does.
What are your kids called, Glitch?
Amber, Jay, and Joseph.
Very Jay is always a headache because it's only really Jaguar or Juggernaut or the other one I really liked with Jay was Jugular Slitter. But if I do a lot of school visits, I do which is a bit much for like 11-year-olds, So I used to do it. Well, since lockdown, I haven't. But I used to do a lot of Dark Lord traveling shows, visiting schools, and do a writing workshop for 10, 11-year-olds. But, yes. So a little Jane the Jugular Slitter, get the raised eyebrow from the teacher.
Oh no, my kids
sometimes.
They would love that.
Well, they're Scottish, of course, it'd be fine.
My daughter, since she was about 4 or 5, she would turn her dolls into zombies, and she would paint their faces and rip off an arm, and she yes,
brilliant.
So, yeah,
I used to do that when I was a kid. Yeah, get my sister's Barbie dolls and rip their heads off, and Mum's red lipstick and put it all over the blood and the gore.
Yes.
Early Dark Lord, you see. Yes. Sounds like your girl's going to be a Dark Lord too.
Oh well, she is.
Yes.
Everybody that knows her knows that. Yes.
Good.
A little blonde demon.
Excellent.
Indeed. Right. So we have announced we have that game book signed as a
Actually, just a novel.
random prize.
Kid's novel.
Yes.
Unless you want to wait months for the signed game book.
I'm pretty sure.
I honestly think I don't. It depends. I mean, Jamie, what other Jamie was talking about? I mean, yeah.
I mean, we could throw both, and if possible,
we will
a signed copy of the Dark Lord as well as Edition 1 signed game book. That'd be.
That might be something we could do.
Generous to the viewers.
On,
Very
maybe.
generous to the viewers.
Yeah, we could have a prize. Do they deserve it?
No, they do not deserve it.
None of them deserve anything.
Episode 8, and I don't. No, I'm kidding.
We are done with them.
No, viewership.
Burn them all.
We wouldn't do it without these guys, and I honestly, what a ton of fun every episode has been, especially this one as well, man. Really, it's been. I'm not ending it. I'm just expressing my terror with speaking with you today. I've really enjoyed it.
Yes.
Good. I suppose it is past my bedtime.
Yeah, it's been an hour 40. Dark Lord, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here.
I wasn't ending it, by the way.
I
wasn't.
Yeah, very sorry for butchering the intro. I was so excited for our intro for you, and it was very much going to be great. And for anyone who was, I saw some people in the chat were asking what happened earlier. I basically butchered the start of the stream using some new software today, and yeah, it was a shame, but moving on. So yes, Mr. Dark Lord.
You will pay
it
in
was
blood.
an honor. Yes, I'll make it up.
It was indeed an honor for you all.
I mean, for me, I grew up with the White Dwarf.
Oh, cool! Right,
and so for me, this is like I was like, yes. When they said, "Hey, do you want to come on?" For me, that was just absolutely. I mean,
I don't know what White Dwarf is up to now, but I joined on White Dwarf 28 in 1980.
I think we're at 462. I think is the latest edition, possibly.
Yes. Good God.
But yeah, it is. Yeah. So yeah, just being able to pick at that mind and how it works is terrifying.
Good.
Yeah. Man, thank you so much for coming on here, and
it was fun.
Yes.
Yeah, it was seriously an honor, Mr. Dark Lord.
It won't save you from a flogging. Yeah, well, I do have a black cloak actually.
All of us.
And the mask and the hood and everything. Yeah, I did have a staff of skulls, and I left it at a school. But the staff of skulls is taller than I am. I had a skull on the top, and usually I would travel to these schools on the train. The best way to get there and stay overnight and stuff. So it was always weird. I'd have a suitcase full of Dark Lord props, and then you're standing on a commuter train at like 8 o'clock in the morning. It's packed, and you're just standing there with a skull staff. People are sort of looking at you out of the side of their eyes. It was fun. Very hard to resist going.
That seems like a proper weapon for a Dark Lord, a staff of skulls.
Yeah, I lost that though, sadly. Yeah.
There's someone out there with this. I'm gonna go hunt that down. I think
it's in the school library.
It sounds like a quest to me.
Maybe that'll work its way into the game as a weapon of some kind.
Yeah, I should put the skull staff in as a quest item.
Yeah, there will be Desert of Notice is the weapon forging quadrant. So hopefully we'll see a staff of skulls in game one day. Very highly sought after item, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think you've just given Bergs a good idea for the item that he can name.
So staff of skulls.
I saw the Dark Lord's mask as well as a good one.
Yeah, I've just ordered a new mask. That's going to be very.
Jamie,
not yet, but
Wormling Jamie has just said, "I love how he pretends he doesn't dress up as the Dark Lord every day on the tube."
Well, sadly, lockdown. I haven't been able to get on the public transport for ages, so I just have to wander up and down my village wearing the outfit.
The souls are piling up, awaiting you.
Yes, excellent. Okay, wormlings. Fare thee well.
Been a pleasure.
Oh, sorry, fare thee badly, wormlings.
That's more like
Send
I'll
me
take
blood
that.
and money. I also
Thank-
accept kebabs and burgers.
Yeah,
You can't
food your
give
way.
any blood, you know. Yeah.
it could be easier to obtain.
Yes. All right. So wait a minute. How do I leave Discord? Technology.
There should
You
be,
never leave
Okay.
yes.
Discord.
There's
Bye,
All right.
Jimmy.
See you later,
Pleasure,
guys.
man.
Good luck.
cheers.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
That was absolutely
What a pleasure.
epic.
What a pleasure. So yeah, one thing we may have to do here, guys.
Now Glitch is a dark
just,
lord.
I'm the dark. I am the Dark Lord.
Yeah. We're gonna have to adjust our cams. Well, actually, if I use my stream deck here to switch us, that's not really what we want, is it?
You've taken away my powers.
I'm still the absolute tanker. Not even in a fantasy online, I can change character.
So we got the marble race now, guys, and again, this is some new software. So give me. Oh, here's the page.
You're ahead. We just think alike, Glitch, man. We're the game.
Pull up,
So
marbles. Yes.
You are streaming absolutely everything right now. Like, literally everything you could possibly show to the world is just popping up there.
What did I? Shit, that's my bad. I hope it wasn't up there for very long.
No, he's got the game out. He's got the get. No, it wasn't. No good. Nothing to see. So, are you sorting out? Do you want me to run through the prizes?
Oh, absolutely, Tank. If you could run through the prize, that'd be great. I'm gonna get our
Okay,
cams
so
up on the
I'll tell you what
screen
we'll do. Okay, cool. So, Jamie says just the game book. So we're talking about the game book, just the game book. Nothing else promises. Only issues with the editions with that one. So what I'm going to do to you, Glitch, is
What are you going to do?
send.
What?
So I'm just going to send you. If you want to run through, should we try and duo this? Do you want to test during it? So I've just messaged you the prizes. So I do first, and you do second, third, etc. Right?
Yeah,
How about it?
Let's hit it, boy.
Go for it. First prize. Go for it, Glitch.
First prize,
Okay.
signed copy of the book from Jamie and Jamie.
Second prize in today's marble race is the Binding Spell of Typhon, donated by Known Worth. We're not probably going to go through all of these actually, and Jap. Go ahead and then ignore the tank a bit. It just means in my wallet.
In third is 25 PYR.
Fourth place, Alpha Revenge. Thank you, Crypto Fandito.
Number 5 is a Coddle Pet Zork Dragon.
Number 6, a Yule Cat.
Number 7, the Slope,
Number 7, the
which
Slope.
is, by the way,
Number-
that is a hilarious NFT piece of art. By the way, I will just say.
Hilarious. The next two, are we keeping as that or halving that and more prizes? What do you think?
Have it.
Halve it. So in 8th place, we have 25 PYR.
9th place is another 25 PYR, and so on until 12th place.
No, we're actually putting those at the bottom now.
Ah, okay. Well, my bad. So we have in number 10 a common rod seed.
Thank you. Possibly from someone. 11, a set perpetual.
There's a reason. There's a reason.
A
I
piece
left it
of
for you.
armor.
I did it on purpose.
Damn
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Spiritual armor from.
Sepulchral armor.
It's
You know,
good to
let
know
us
that
go.
there's a
Sepulchral.
spelling error in there, because that one always seemed tough to.
Yeah, it's a spelling error glitch. It's not like I would be able to say it. Yeah.
In number 12, we have another Yule Cat.
Number 13, 25 PYR Pier.
Yep. And number 14 is another edition of The Slope.
I only think there should be one edition, so we're going to delete that one. There is no second slope.
There's only one slope.
I'm pretty sure there's only one slope. Crypto, if you're around, I'm pretty sure there's only... No play, don't press play, just yet, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, not yet, guys. We're very close to there, though. Very close to there. We'll be getting...
Okay, so... What I'm just doing is I'm just going to finalize the list, and I'm going to just send and pop this off to...
Perfect.
He's having so much fun as I glance over here. Everything is so organized in our Discord, and this just...
Save.
Yeah. No, I mean, it happens to when you're live show and you know you don't have a full team, you know, you've got to expect these things, especially with the nerves we had with the Dark Lord. Pretty terrifying. That was pretty terrifying stuff today. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was so cool actually getting to speak with him and have him on here. By the way, thank you so much for all of the follows and subscribers. Chambers Gaming giving out 3 tier 1 subs. Walt, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, Walt. Everyone else who followed, subscribed. Sky Dobbs gave out a tier 1 community sub. Wow. See, I'm so annoyed that we weren't getting notified of all the subs and stuff. I thought that was the whole reason I switched to this software, was so I could have that.
You have a list, right? You have a list?
Yes, I do.
What we'll do in the run-up, what I can only suggest is in the run-up to the marble race and the countdown is run through them, right?
Okay.
I think that would be nice. You know, it's always nice to appreciate.
In the countdown, I'm getting... I hear notifications now. Salmondelli just followed. Duck TK just followed. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'll run through all these. We'll get the marble race up and running here. And Roxbury Red cheered 6 bits. Thank you, man. I like hear a little notification now. I don't see anything, but.
Bergs, I got your message. It wasn't a lost shade seed. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. It was a shade warrior, even better. I'm just going to post the prize list if you want to keep it there. I've really fucked up the prize list. We'll just delete that. Let's get rid of that, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm echoing his Sky Dobbs. So yeah. So we have to choose a race as well. Oh my god.
Yeah. What are we thinking for this one? I'm actually gonna have to make our webcams a bit smaller, I think, so we're not taking up such a big chunk of the screen.
We've had a few last-minute additions to the prize list, of course. So we're just amending these slightly. Get it ready for you lot.
Oh, Scories. I wanted to sponsor a Venomtail Berserk card. Pick me.
Ooh, thank you, man. That'll do.
Well, wait 1 second. Like,
toss it in.
Wait,
gonna shrink our cams a bit here.
Okay.
Sorry, 1 second, guys. Just confirming here with. What? I don't quite understand what he was saying. Oh,
no.
I want a Berserk card?
No more donations. No more donations. Otherwise, we'll lose track. Really appreciate it. We'll save it for next week. What do you think, Glitch?
Well, yeah, we've got 15 prizes here. Rafiki...
18, actually. 18 prizes.
Oh, right. It's Rafiki's card. Jamie with 5,000 shares.
5,000 bits, and it showed up too. Thank you so much, Jamie.
Peace.
So maybe it's fixed. Maybe things are popping up now.
Yes, I think. I know it's only taken till the end of it, but we got there. Woohoo!
Yeah, I am Hendy 49 bits. Thank you, man. Thank you so much, everybody. All right, well, what track do we want to do, guys, for this race? We have all the prizes and stuff squared away. Are we ready to?
Benny Hill.
Pick a track. Bunny Hill?
No. Probably not Benny Hill.
We'll do a relatively lengthy one. This Frozen is 3 minutes 42 seconds. Seems decent.
Okay, I think that's good. With the prizes.
Wait, how did we all of a sudden get up to 18 prizes?
I honestly don't know. Let's ignore that. Let's delete that. We're definitely wrong. We've got 2 slopes for some reason. We'll delete the slope.
Wait, what's going on here? Yeah, it's like whenever Jamie types in something here, I just think that he's about to say something, and no, he's just he's trolling us, man.
You said what number did you say?
I had 18 there.
I think that looks good.
Yes.
That makes a lot more sense.
That makes more sense because handing over the private keys to your wallet, I don't think that was supposed to be on the prize list, Tango.
I think I'm pretty sure I've missed one. I've just duplicated.
Oh, come on, Jamie. Jamie, yeah, add Aries to the list. Come on, man.
Wow.
And
Thank
what
you,
condition, Jamie? What condition? Where's the Aries go? We've got currently 16 prizes.
Jamie, you want to?
I think that's last across the line again. Has to be.
First,
we haven't got one of those yet.
Last. You want to do a last? Yeah, just do it last.
Got the signed copy of the book for first place. I think that's just fitting.
OMFGWDFH4X, thank you for the sub. Armega, thank you for the sub. Guys, it's actually popping up now. This is amazing. This is why I switched to this software.
What were you saying, Glitch?
Awesome. Now, Jamie says last is okay. So let's just chuck that in last. How are we doing?
Last.
Right. I can't actually see the race. I'd love to follow it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to.
Why?
Unless Muxy, you can share your screen. I know that may mess up the display.
Yeah, we may lose our cameras, but
if you disconnect your camera and share, then it will still have 4 blocks.
Disconnect my camera and share.
But don't be careful of sharing, obviously.
If I hit disconnect, I think I'm gonna drop the call though, aren't I? So if I do,
you just disconnect the camera, I believe.
It's pull. Oh, actually, this works. So I share my screen. I'll just have to readjust your guys' cameras quick, but this works.
There we go. Now I get to watch the brilliant. So yeah, so the community voting. So yeah, I think have you connected your Twitch already, Muxy?
Yep, we're connected, good to go. Should I start it? So
brilliant. Everyone vote.
Well, yeah, we're not there yet. We're not there yet, but we have to pick the track. Should we just do this Frozen one? That looks.
Yeah, I mean, the community can vote ! Vote with a number of the track. Otherwise, just pick a 3 or 4 minute track.
I'm in the middle of it all now.
Yeah, I just fixed your cam, GV. So now we got to get Tanka squared away, and then we're live. Then we're golden.
Let's go. Let's go. Let me just message my mum. Mum, get in the Twitch stream. Big prize to flip. Come on. Oh, was I not muted?
Boba Birdie, thank you for the follow. I have a dog named Boba. It's a very nice name.
What if it was the dog that subscribed?
I don't know. Showing some support.
Oh, daddy.
All right, so we got a couple votes for 17. Vote 17, vote 26. Vote. Does it actually tally up the votes on here? Oh yeah, look at this. So, all right.
It's magical.
You guys can vote for whatever track you want. It has to be at least 2.5 minutes long though. We don't want anything too short. So the dojo. Wow, the dojo is pulling ahead. It's close enough to 2.5 minutes. 2:26. It has 6 votes. This one has 5. Hard landing. If you guys want to see a specific track, go ahead and place your votes, and we'll do first 1 to 10
Muxy, our cameras are still covering up the numbers of the track.
Ah, my gosh, sorry guys. Whoops. Yes.
Randomize is fine though. It's no big deal. Randomize is fine.
Just pick a random track.
Choose one. Yeah, one that's long. Maybe that's got a vote on it, you know?
We'll do the Frozen one. We'll do the Frozen one, because that seems promising.
Your favorite movie? Yes, favorite movie.
3 minutes, 42 seconds. All right, guys, here we go. Max number of players, 200, just to be safe. Race. And we are getting ready very soon for the exclamation point play. I see Faceless in there. I see Cell Roach, Rafiki. Tank is in there. Dakesh, possibly. Cliplops, Sean LC, Jamie Vulcan blokes in. Nice guys, get in here. Glitch Vikings in there. Bergs is in there. Chambers Gaming.
How come Jamie is all bright pink?
There's a few bright pink. I'm not sure. I guess it's subscribers and followers are colored.
Wait, have I not?
I'm not sure which is which.
Oh, how did I don't know.
Yeah, exclamation
I'll
points
I'll
by
deal
everybody.
with it.
How do I set the timer, Tanka? Is it?
It is subs. Yeah, I thought
I
so.
don't want to hit start in case it. Oh, here we go. Should we start the 90-second countdown timer, or make it 120?
Nah, go with 60 seconds, man.
60?
Get people, put the pressure on people.
All right,
People
guys,
should be awake.
get in here. We are starting.
No, I was muted. 120. Negotiate in the middle. 99 seconds. There we go.
99 seconds. All right.
99 seconds. Yes.
I'm running
Let's
to
go.
get a water really quick. I'll be right back.
Let's go.
A minute 40 here till we
99
go.
red. 99
Minute 40,
red balloons.
baby.
Kinda.
99 red balloons. Yes.
Are you muted?
No.
I don't know.
No.
Some regards.
I was. No, I was a minute ago.
All
Not
right.
anymore. Yeah. When I was shouting, no, 180 seconds. And you're like, 60. Mate,
Andy's-
what an incredible interview. I think
I know, man.
I'm more bullish now about all of that. It's genuine interest and genuine excitement, and that was all genuine. I know I'm genuine anyway, but I'm genuinely excited about these gamebooks, man.
Oh no, it's
Like the personalities of the characters now. Wow.
it's just those it's those little Easter eggs that you drop. I mean, you're going to be looking out for just these small details throughout the game, in everywhere. Just knowing, having like insider jokes where why Tomios is named Tomios.
was
These
really
little
cool.
things that just makes that experience so good. It's the depth of it. It goes beyond just a game. It's like you can have a quiet laugh just by yourself when you're thinking about it when you see a name pop up now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Get
right,
into it,
yes.
Ali McCoy's. 3,
We're
2,
going.
1.
Calaviero, yes. Ares is
And
last.
Here we go.
Left alt. Let's
Left
go,
alt is
baby.
selected. Who's off to the lead? I see Smirnoff Light 213 is first one out the gate, followed by Panobus, possibly right behind. Skydob's not too far behind. I see Lumpyland in there as well.
Come on, last place.
Where's Tanker?
What is,
Man wants
did,
that
did we
book.
did we decide is last getting the Ares? Has that been confirmed?
Yes.
Last place gets
Yes.
the Ares. Okay. Here we are. Who's in last? Tina
I
seems
see
to
possibly-
be last. No, Rego's getting stuck up here a little bit.
my
Ark
God.
Insane 1. Who's up? Panobus is in the lead, it looks like. Yep, Panobus, followed by Skeezels, followed by Uluwala. Over here, Smirnoff Light,
Ooh la
Peter,
la.
Rafiki, Goobert.
I reckon Jamie's marble has I reckon he's been doping, because it
Where's
performs so
Jamie
well.
Panobus
Where's
He's
Jamie Vulcan?
he's oh no,
in the middle.
you got
somewhere.
Panobus,
He's a pink
Skeezels.
name, isn't he?
Oh, there's
Come on,
Pan-
Tanker. Come on, Tanker.
There I
I gotta
am.
say that
First,
Panobus, I saw your
Oh.
meme earlier. You should
Is he stuck?
re-put it back up.
Oh, no, he's moving.
You should not delete that meme. That was
Crypto
brilliant.
T is in first place.
Go, Crypto!
Fellow
Philosopher
Philosopher.
coming through. Philosopher not subscribe.
What
Yeah,
is
guys.
first get?
signed
Oh, that's
book.
right. That's right. Yeah.
Guys,
What's up, Glitch?
if you are in this channel, hit the follow button. Subscribe.
Oh, yes.
Just do it.
Oh, and go and follow the Twitter. I believe we set this up so that if you do follow the Twitter, you do get a boost in the final minute of the game, believe it or not. So if you do want that,
Oh wait,
want that,
King J and
go and
Crypto T
follow
just
the
fell down
Twitter.
a level, and they.
What?
I think they.
What? They
just
got
dropped,
a boost? Like,
but they're not
oh,
moving too fast.
damn!
What the hell,
King
man?
J-
Wow, that is a
King
huge.
J
That is a
seems to be
huge. That means
running away
people
with
can
it.
fall off as well. No, look at number one, top right.
Yeah, it's not even him,
I'm
but
confused.
he's the only guy.
Oh no, there's two ways. There's two ways
it's-
you can go.
King J.
Two ways you can go.
Oh my, it's King J and Crypto T.
King J has first base.
Oh man.
It looks like there's two ways you can go, maybe.
Yeah, they fell
King
off,
J.
They fell off the edge and got a nice little boost there because they landed. Wow, so King J gets a signed book.
Well,
King
it's not
J.
confirmed yet. Cross the line, King
Congrats.
J.
He made out
Congratulations.
pretty well. I think he got a god in the last one or the week before last week. So King J been crushing it with the marble races. Congrats.
You're on our band.
He has been training for these.
Crypto T lands in second place, and we have
The
Acadian
binding
looks like
spell.
he's making a run for third. I am
Everyone here, remember,
DM
make sure
way-
you DM me. I will not wait 2 days. Otherwise, the prizes will be redonated. So make sure to DM me on Twitch
Here comes our mega.
with your Discord and vet address.
Crypto T, his
Canada.
first.
So who's
stream.
passed the line? Let's have a look at the lines. Let's have a look. Hanglin. Again, Hanglin's won 3 weeks in a row, I must say. Hendy won the prize.
Nix VV, Ness Wolf. Here's Jamie Vulcan below.
Next VV recently won the Astorian.
Skydobbs. Who's in last? Last gets the Aries. Blockbeard.
Come on, Tank
Oh,
Up.
here we
Yes,
go.
be slow one time.
Is it
Blockbeard, wait to
Blockbeard?
see.
Is it Blockbeard? Oh, it's between Ohewo and Blockbeard for an Aries. I think these are the last two. Who's it gonna be?
Yep.
It's Blockbeard. Wow. Blockbeard. Congratulations, man. That was actually a very tight race at the end there between Ohewo and Blockbeard.
Well played,
for the
everyone.
Aries.
So copy that to clipboard. Don't forget, but copy that to clipboard.
Ohewo, you were second to last, man. You were super close. Blockbeard just, or you barely beat out Blockbeard.
Yes. Blockbeard barely lost to you.
Yeah.
So, quick run through the prizes. King J with a signed copy of the game book. Well played.
Yes.
A very, very jealous. If you DM me, I'm going to be very short and sweet because I am jealous to fuck. Second place, Binding Speller Typhon. Third place, 25 PYR. Fourth place, Alpha Revenge. Fifth place, the Zork Dragon. Sixth place, Yulecat. Seventh place, the Slope. Eighth and ninth place, both with 25 PYR.
What did seventh
thanks for
get?
the donation.
The slope?
Hey, by the way,
Seventh is a Slope.
What's a
It's
slope?
an
I know
NF
it's a good.
it's a funny NFT.
Oh, okay.
By the way, Nix, what did he
That's the
win the other
Asti.
day?
He
got
won
the
the
Asterion
Asti.
in the Twitter
Asti.
thing.
Bro, you are on the path from
did
0
not
to hero
finish.
here.
Our last finisher, by the way, was Blockbeard. You can see it here, 91st.
Got
You
there
were
with the Aries. Congratulations.
Just ahead of him, Ohewo was 1.2 seconds off, 1.3 seconds off. Very, very close. But yeah, so was it top 18? Top 18 get a prize?
No, it was 17.
17.
Well, no, top 16 and then
Right.
last place, of course. So
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, Nix, congratulations, man. I mean that is 2 wins in a row. You've got the Asterion. Now you've won yourself a bit higher. That is, you're fast tracking yourself on that 0 to hero run. So well
Yeah.
done.
I mean, I must say, Hanglin, I think, has won 3 weeks in a row. So currently, Hanglin is the one to beat. He finished first place last week for a long cat. The week previous, he won the first times. Sorry to shit on it, but everyone who is 16th place and above, DM me on Twitch with your Discord name, so then we can discuss in Discord. You have 2 days, otherwise your prize will be redonated. 2 days, so do it now, get it done, and then we'll add you to the prize list. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah. Sean LC says, "What are the prizes for 10th to 16th?" Did we read through those yet? Also, Duck TKSU asking what place you finished. I'll do a scroll so you guys can see where your marbles.
And have a look at their chat. Have a look at their toxic chat. Let's catch any toxicity.
let's
Let's see what Jamie's got to say.
Play. Holy shit! Woo! Amazing! Unbelievable! Must be Darko's blessing. Blessed. Congrats, King Jet. Where's Crypto T? Woo! Acadian play boost. We'll see what panel. What was Jamie typing? Friday night pleasures! Exclamation point play. And let's see what our Aries winner. Blockbeard. Play leader always gets smashed. LOL, win by lose, make it easy on these hosts. Yep. Blockbeard, congrats, man. Huge win with the Aries. pretty much a beast of a god. Increased Vulcanite attack, increased weapon foraging. That's a big win, man.
Oh yes.
Congrats to all the winners. Another fun marble race. Great way to wrap up yet another great stream. And before we get to our closing statements and wrap up, guys, you have anything else you want to mention, go over, talk about while we're live?
Only about 1,000 things, but who wants to continue hearing me talk?
Oh, by the way, Tanka, we stopped reading winners.
Stop reading them.
We did. So I tried to post it. It wasn't very pretty. So we'll try it again. Let's go. The common rod seed. 10, the super armor. 11, fuel cats. Sepulchral armor. 12, 25 PYR.
At 13 is the slope. So 13, Neswolf, you win.
Actually, this is all.
You're right,
wrong.
Jap. I'm doing the list now. I'm scrolling through the list if you guys want to see what place you ended up in. I'll just do a slow scroll.
No, that's right. Sorry. Yeah.
Thank you, Duck TK. Cheers, man. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out, bro. Roxbury Red.
But okay, so the big is thank you to the donation. Like, people are just coming out left, right, and center donating stuff for the community. It's just a lot of fun, and like, I don't want to forget that. Like, you know, such great, like, unknown positivity in this community. Keep it going throughout Discord. Like, you know, boost us up. This is great. Lots of positivity, lots of generosity. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out, guys. And Slave says you skipped the prize again. So here you go, Slave. This is the 9th gets a common Arcadia rod seed. 10th gets a pulse normal. 11th UCAT. 12th 25 PYR. 13th the slope, which I still am not sure what that is, but it's an NFT of some kind. 14 25 PYR. 15 25 PYR, and 16 a Shade Warrior. And then of course our last place finisher Black gets the big dog Ares. And yeah, thank you to everyone who donated, everyone who helped us today enter the raid. Thank you so much, guys. All the followers, subscribers, donators, thank you. This was very, very fun stream. So cool having the Dark Lord hang out with us today. Not something I was expecting we'd be able to pull off. I'm sure he's a very busy guy. And we're still, I guess we're in week 8 of the stream now, but it's still pretty early. And it's really cool to get such a high-powered guest on here so early, I guess, for lack of a better term. But yeah, it was great. And GV, of course, thank you again for coming on with us, man. Always a pleasure having you here with us.
Love to be here, man.
Yep. Always big improvement to the stream having GV here. And Tank, anything you want to send us home with? Any closing statements? I mean, you too as well, GV, if you have anything you want
to.
Me? No, man. I've done so much talking, man. I have over-talked myself today. I am now speechless. I'm saying thank you to everyone, all the donators, everyone that's following all the socials. That it is super important. Community is everything. Get following everyone, each other, chasing up any mention of anything to do with this ecosystem. We can't do this without you. You are a core part of this project, and just keep on being awesome. Is what I would probably say as a closing statement.
It's very well said,
what Coach said.
Yes.
And go and follow the Twitter, the new Twitter account. Let's go.
Yep.
Wonderful, well played, Mighty. Very well done today, man. I'm no sarcasm.
Thank you.
It was the first day with the new tech, so
yeah,
if we need to run some tests with it, we can get that.
Yep. Adjustments will be
Good
made.
night, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Yes.
Lessons learned. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evenings from wherever you guys are tuning in from out there. And as always, thank you again for spending another Friday night with us. And until next time, we will see you guys very soon. Cheers, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, wormlings.
Bye.
All right, and stream and recording.